One of the reasons I was so enthusiastic about the program is that I went to Europe for a full summer the year I graduated from college, and I traveled all over Europe, and it changed my life, and I think that that's why I was so enthusiastic about this program, and I think it changed the lives of a lot of our students. In 1983, the dean sent out a memo asking if anyone wanted to teach in London and for the semester, and I talked to the dean, and that went over in 1984 for the first year, and then I stayed for the second year, and I stayed for the third year, and by the third year I was the director of the program, and I taught there for 20 years. Well, I think one of the things that is so important is how it opened up doors for students who had never traveled before. So it changed the way they looked at the world, and they became much more global in their thinking. And I think most of them said it was the most valuable semester they'd ever had in school. So that was really important, and it let them go to other countries. When they had a spring break, they'd go to Italy, or they'd go to Spain, or they'd go to France. And so it was opening their eyes to other places and other cultures and other people. And it was such a valuable thing. It was really a good thing to do. For some of them, they had never been to a play. They had never been to an art exhibit. They had never been to a really important concert. And I think that the basis of the program set in the humanities was a wonderful thing to open up these the students' eyes, and to be able to interact with the people there, to go to the Parliament and see what was going on. They really were able to understand much more about the way the British live and the way they rule. Many of our students early on had never been out of the country, and so this would be their first trip abroad, and a lot of them had never experienced having to live in a different kind of environment. And they would come from a home that was quite large, and they would end up in a room with 2 or 3 other people sharing all of the facilities. It was the first time they'd had that experience. Then they would go overseas, over to the continent, and they would stay in a hostel, and they would begin to see how Europeans lived. And I think that is so important for them. And they would come back to London and they'd say, oh, I really appreciate my room here with 3 other people. So they never had thought when they first arrived that would be something that they wanted to do. And I think it just opened their eyes to what the rest of the world was like. And especially how the Europeans travel and how they accept where they are and what they're doing and where they stay. It's quite wonderful.